Hey everybody, it's Ann with Ann Cooks Keto, and we are on day 15 of 365 days of cooking keto with Ann. Today I am making Chaffles, which is all the craze in the keto community of keto bread. And I had a friend that is kind of new to keto, and he started right before Christmas, I think, and he's doing great. He actually started keto before Christmas. That's amazing. And he is doing really well. But he asked me to do a bread recipe, and Chaffles happens to be a favorite of mine. And one of the reasons I like it is it kind of gets crispy. You can do sweet, you can do savory, you can do a little of both. And there's a ton of different recipes to do it. So the one I'm doing, I found online, and I have my recipe down here, which is why I'm looking. I'm gonna make it's kind of like a Philly steak with the peppers and the onions, but I'm gonna do it with chicken. And I found this really great grilled chicken breast already made in the grocery store that I'm gonna use. I also have frozen sliced bell peppers that I found in the grocery store. So I just wanna give you some ideas of how you can make a quick meal. You don't have to prep everything. I tend to do that just because that's how I cook, but I wanted to show you that you can find these very good quality ingredients in the market. If you just look for them, they don't have added sugars and weird things to them. They are just 100% chicken and 100% vegetables. They're just sliced up and, frozen, ready to go. The chicken I found at Costco, and I just gave my son some. I'll show it to you. I got it at Costco, and it's in this bag right here. It has a little seal top to it. And then this is the chicken. And it is just a grilled chicken. The ingredients in it are, let me see if it's on this one. No, it's on this one. So ingredients: chicken, water, vinegar, salt. So it's minimally processed. And it does save a lot of time if someone's cooked it for you. So I like that. I like that it's minimally processed. It really is all just chicken. It doesn't have any weird additives to it to, extend the life of it. So, okay, so this is 4 egg whites. When you're making Chaffles, you'll see a lot of the recipes call for it's called a dash waffle maker, which is a little mini single serve waffle maker. I have this giant 4-section waffle maker I've had for about 10 years. And I want to make 4 sections, so I don't need a tiny little waffle maker that I just keep cooking. I'm gonna put the whole batch into this one waffle maker. I'm gonna heat up the chicken and the peppers, which I'll show you those too. I got these at Trader Joe's, but you can find them in other markets. They're just simply sliced up and frozen bell pepper, okay? So I'm gonna take out a portion of that, and I sliced up some onion. So as the Chaffles are cooking, I'm gonna saute up the peppers, onions, and warm up the chicken. And then when the Chaffle comes out, I'm going to put the chicken and the bell peppers on top it with a piece of cheese, and put it in the oven. It's gonna be delicious. All right, so I have the waffle maker on. So when it's nice and hot, you gotta preheat it. And I'm gonna oil it here in a minute. So I'm getting my egg whites nice and fluffy. So beat those up. A lot of recipes don't give you that little tip. So I do like to have that done. And then let's see, what else do we need? I need a teaspoon of baking powder, which is gonna give it some leavening, some lift. So I'm gonna put a teaspoon of baking powder in there. All right. And then it says a pinch of salt. Well, I'm gonna do a little more than a pinch. Where's my salt? Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple pinches. Pinch, okay. And then a little black pepper. It doesn't call for that, but I'm terrible at following recipes. I kind of end up going on my own. So I'm gonna do that. And then I think I'll sprinkle in, this is ancho chili powder. I'll put a little chili powder in there. Another shake. All right. Just to give it a little kick. And then I'm gonna beat that up, get it all incorporated. You don't want a big clump of baking powder in your bite. That is really not a pleasant taste. Okay, so there's that. Now I need some coconut flour, just a little bit. So I need 4 teaspoons, or otherwise known as a tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon. So I'm gonna get that. There's 1 teaspoon, and then I need a tablespoon. All right. So you could probably use almond flour if you have it. I have both, and I like both. I like the coconut because it has, to me, a more neutral taste, less almondy. I also think it has less carbs. I'd have to look at that to be sure. Okay, so it's pretty foamy after you add that, after you add in the baking powder. The last thing I'm gonna put in here, oh, I need some water. I need some water. So, just hold on one sec. So I need about a tablespoon of water. Is that? And then the cheese. And now I'm doing a cup of cheese. I weighed it because when they say a cup, you know, how do you fill the cup? Do you pack it? Is it domed? Is it fluffy? So a cup can really vary. So I weighed it. And so that's a cup of cheese. And I did it by grams because I'm picky and like that. Kind of precise because I tend to be a baker. So I like to have it more exact when I'm doing a recipe. Okay, so it doesn't look like much, right? So I'm just gonna make sure that the cheese is all evenly incorporated with everything else. I need to oil this. It is a non-stick toaster or waffle maker, but I want to give it a little extra, you know, chance to not stick. And so we'll just brush it with a little bit of that sunflower oil. Okay, just get the kind of the corners because I want it to pop out right. I don't want to dig it out. I definitely don't want cheese and eggs stuck in here. Okay, and just give a little brush on the top too. You don't have to use a lot because it is non-stick. Okay, so I did separate the eggs. I save the yolks and I can add them to an omelet, you know, or some other dish I'm making. I can make mayonnaise with that. That would be good. Okay, so once I put this in here, I set a timer for 4 minutes and then pop it out. I'm gonna go ahead and get I have a skillet back here ready to turn on. I'm gonna put my onions and peppers and chicken in there. So let me put a little sunflower oil. I did about a tablespoon. Okay, so I'm gonna get this on and we'll get everything going at the same time. Okay, so I need a spatula. This is my favorite spatula. I won it when I did a Michigan apple contest. I came in as, I think, People's Choice, honorable mention. I didn't win first prize, but they still like my dish. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this in the waffle maker. You can see it here. I'm gonna divide it into 4 so that each section has their own little, spread it out a little bit, right? So that you have, doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, this is, you know, it's supposed to be a bread. It's supposed to be a top and a bottom. I'm not looking for, you know, like a perfectly square waffle. So that's a perfect amount. So it was 4 egg whites, a cup of cheese, some baking powder, and a little bit of water and some coconut flour. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna set my timer for 4 minutes. Set the timer for 4 minutes, and then we'll pull that out. So I'm gonna go over here and get started on my peppers and onions, and then we'll be back to see how things are looking in about 4 minutes. Okay, so it's almost been 4 minutes. I have peppers and onions cooking in the skillet. See here? I added some garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper. So I'm just gonna add the rest of this grilled up, it's already cooked chicken breast just to heat it up. And that's about 2 pounds of chicken. So we will just let that cook in there for a few minutes. That was my timer. So let's see how it looks, okay? So I'm just gonna open this. Don't just pull it open real fast. Kind of check it out, right? Before you pull apart your chaffle. It's always scary to do this because what if it comes apart like I'm on video? But it worked, yay! Look at that. Okay, so let me unplug it. They look great. I did have a little accident. I leaned up against the outside of the waffle maker and it had oozed out some of the cheese. Okay, so see how it just peels right up? That's awesome. It's hot. Okay, so here you go. There they are. I'm gonna put them on this baking sheet and put it in the, I have an oven over here that's on. So here they are. See the Chaffles right there? So that they'll stay hot and crispy while I finish this up. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. That's super easy. I have just a tiny bit of cleanup. Not much, just right here where the cheese kind of oozed out a little bit. I'm all for easy cleanup. Because I love cooking, but I hate cleaning. Okay, so that is how we're gonna build it. Now, hold on one moment. I wanna pull everything together. We'll be right back and I'll show you how to build this. Okay, so I have the chaffles that we made right here. I had them in an oven just to keep them hot. In my opinion, they can get, if you don't keep them crispy, you could probably make these ahead of time and stick them in the toaster oven, but not very long because you've got cheese and egg in here. You might have a mess, but you could crisp them back up a little bit. So these are pretty nice and crispy. I did end up leaving them in for about almost 5 minutes because I decided I like mine really crispy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this chicken and peppers and onions and make like a Philly chicken melt. And I'm going to then make a sandwich, okay? So that's, I'm gonna put the chicken and peppers on one side and the cheese on the other, and then they're gonna come together and be so happy. So here's the chicken and peppers, okay? So we'll just put a little bit on top. On each one. And then I have this shredded, I have sliced cheese so that we don't have to, and I'm trying to make this quick. And actually I'm getting this whole meal done in probably not even 15 minutes. And that's almost always my goal, unless I'm just really into something, some new recipe or something I'm into. I want to make it under 20 minutes. Okay, this is, what kind of cheese is this? Monterey Jack. So I'm gonna put that on the other side. Since there's already so much cheese in the chaffle, for mine, I'm gonna give my husband a whole slice because he likes cheese. Plus he's downstairs on his bike trainer, probably pedaling like 100 miles a minute and going 15 miles. I ran 3 miles today, but he's going much further than me. So I think I'll stick with only half a slice of cheese because I do already have basically a half a cup of cheese in my sandwich. So I don't really need to add much cheese. Okay, so I have enough chicken. I made enough chicken and peppers to do this again. So I can make this for dinner tomorrow if I wanted. See, I still have a lot of chicken in here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna stick this in the oven. I have the oven set at 425 degrees. And I just want it to get all melty. Then I'm gonna put it together and it's gonna be this lovely sandwich. So there's your bread, there's your keto bread. I love it. You can make a breakfast sandwich with it. You can do a sweet, just waffles, you know, like keto waffles. If you get the sugar-free syrup, there's a ton of things you can do with this, honestly. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.